You give me. Oh, you tell me
Oh,
when. You
we're
tell me
going now.
when.
I want you to keep singing that song.
You give me
Yeah.
fever. Mow it when you mow it. Mow it
My
in the
way.
morning.
It's like
Yeah,
Martin.
mow it all through the day. We're
Yeah,
recording?
we are recording. You know that song?
Oh, hell.
Uh, that show, Martin? Martin.
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 You know,
I'm the
yeah,
man. Martin. You know that song?
now I do. I heard
Martin.
this
It's
tradition. I do remember. I remember Martin's theme song. I do remember Martin's theme song. I think I remember Martin's theme song more than I remember Martin.
yeah, I don't even
I
remember
never
his
really
last
watched
name.
Martin.
Yeah.
It's Martin Lawrence.
Oh, of
But on the
course.
show, I don't know his name.
Of course.
Oh, you talk about on the show. On
Yeah.
the show. Very interesting. Welcome to Loser Lee's Wrestling. This is Loser Lee's Wrestling, the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. We're here talking about Martin right now. Make sure to listen to our Martin podcast. It's called Loser Lee's Martin. It's on all the podcast. No, it's not. We're on Loser Lee's Wrestling and all the podcast platforms. But we're talking about AEW tonight. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here
Noah
with
Jaswal.
Owen Jaswal. How'd you feel about AEW Dynamite tonight?
It was all right. It was a very mediocre episode, in my opinion, but I hear you liked it.
In your opinion. I did have some strong feelings for it, positively strong feelings for it. I thought this was a continuation of last week. I thought we had some good stuff, but well, we just finished AEW Dynamite. This is April 28th. We're live, by the way. And let's just jump into it. Let's talk about our woos and what's of the evening. Mo, what's your first big woo? Or you want me to start?
Oh no, Red, you go first. You go first.
Okay. Well, my big woo of the evening is it has to be the opening match. Actually, it's Brian Cage versus Hangman Adam Page. They opened up the night, and it was a great match. Immediately, FTW jumped on Hangman, beat the shit out of him, and then the match started. Brian Cage ruled through the most of the match. Hangman started to get up, and he started to get some big offense in. He started to make a big comeback, and then Brian Cage got really good, unpredictable match. And the commentary was good too, Moet. It was a great time all around. What did you think of the match, Moet?
So I didn't actually get to see it. I was working right up until AEW Dynamite started, so I actually missed the first half of the match. I was super pumped to see that he won. That was awesome. That was I didn't see that coming. I guess he powerbombed him before the match started or something. I missed all that, so I didn't rank it at all.
FTW jumped him. They jumped Hangman Page, beat the crap out of him, and Taz did a stellar job on commentary. It really was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and that was just, everyone was alive. Like, all the announcers that usually bless you, JR, bless you, Tony Schiavone. But, like, the longer the episode goes, the more, like, old grumpy men you sound. And so, like, they were fresh, they were with it, they were sharp, it was great. It was a great time. Mo, what's your first big woo of the evening? You have a big woo?
Yeah, I was a big fan of that Inner Circle Pinnacle promo. I thought they finally for the Blood and Guts.
Oh yeah, the big parlay.
The parlay. I should have called it the parlay. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I thought they finally found a promo to actually promote this crazy blood feud match that they're having. So yeah, it was just fantastic. Yeah, everyone had a good quip at each other. Even Jericho did great. He's stumbled a lot over the last couple weeks, which makes me worry for him and his health, like, because he's not usually that, he doesn't have a hard time with the promos, but everyone did a great job. Yeah.
I honestly think that it's less that he was having like some mental health issue, is more the fact that he was overconfident. He just thought, like, I could go out there and beat Chris Jericho no matter what. This time he came prepared. He came ready. It sounded like the minute he got on the mic, like, he had a purpose. There was a direction to it. A lot of times he just seems like he's floundering around because he knows he can, which he can usually. It's just when you're against MJF, it shows when you're just winging it. They all did a great job. Every single one. One of who surprised me the most? Cash Wheeler.
Yeah.
Cash Wheeler. He's just like Santana Ortiz. If you come in being this version, you're not going to do well. Like, I just love that because it said what we were all thinking, is that this is a neutered version of Santana Ortiz, in my opinion. And also it showed respect without making them idiots. It's just like, you guys are better than how you've been, and I love that.
They did a good job. They all tried to pump up their opponent before cutting them down. I think, like the neutered version of Santana and Ortiz, they all kind of had a moment of like, Inner Circle, best group in the world, but you guys suck. And I thought, I thought that was really good stuff. Yeah.
This was needed. This was needed, and I'm glad that they did it. And this is something that gets me excited for next week.
I wish they, I wish they had built this up for months. They kind of did with MJF, but not really. Because they were all his friends. Like the Inner Circle were generally on his good side for most of this, that whole thing. I wish maybe they had like once the Pinnacle was formed, they had more matches against the Inner Circle one-on-one until it built into the Blood and Guts feud. I think that would have been way more exciting, but it is what it is, and I'm glad this promo had, picked up all of that legwork that it needed to do,
Mm-hmm. And exactly. And they got some redemption in there. At least Jericho did. He got some redemption from his past few weeks, which was
nice.
We
got a comment, Red. We got a very good comment that we almost missed, which is it's a very important thing. Smwiz says, thank God they didn't let Wardlow and Jake Hager speak, which is true.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I had that exact same thought. I'm like, oh man, yeah, everybody spoke. Everyone had a thing against the person across them, except those two.
Yeah, and that's a good point. That's a very good point. The fact that not everyone needs to speak every time. Tully Blanchard doesn't always need to speak. Sammy Guevara doesn't always need to speak. It's good that they peppered in the people that were going to do it this time. I wish it was fewer. Honestly, I wish maybe Sean Spears and Sammy Guevara didn't say anything. But like, I'm happy that they limited what Jake Hager would say.
And how about when
even though?
Oh wait, what were you saying?
Even though Jake Hager's rough, I kind of get a kick out of his list, where he's just like, "Listen, Chris Jericho, he sounds like I'm a big, strong Oklahoma guy." Like he just has this big dumb.
This is
voice.
Probably a good time to bring it up. This doesn't have to do the promo. I was shocked to hear Ten's real voice when he had his quick video, because I don't think I've heard him speak yet until that moment.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like how he looks.
No, he looks like a big tough guy.
And he sounds like a kid. He sounds like a child.
Yeah, nothing against it. I just, I feel kind of bad.
Nothing against sound like a child. Yeah. Nothing against it. Yeah, of course. But excellent point. Excellent point. Who was that? What was their name?
Smwiz. I feel self-conscious every time I say your name. I'm sorry. It's SMWIZZ.
Oh, Smiz.
Smiz? I might just mess it up every single time. Is it that easy?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know.
God, it's
Thank you, Smiz. Bless you. Bless you so much.
Yeah,
moving on. Let's go another big woo. I'm going to go on my side here, and this is going to be controversial. Miro beating the shit out of Kip Sabian.
Interesting.
That was pretty great. I have some thoughts on it. I have some feelings on it. What are your feelings about it outright?
Again, it's the same thing as like a lot of the storyline where it's like you just suddenly turn on this guy like without showing any sort of build up to it, other like once the Arcade Anarchy thing happens, like he just suddenly hates his friend or something. But I believe it. I like how that video or how that played out.
Yes, it's because of the ending
where he forgives him.
He forgives him. It's not that he breaks. He's angry. He was angry at Kip because he stopped talking to him after the Arcade Anarchy, which is understandable. Kip was hurt. Miro went a little insane, but now he's just like they have this encounter. He beats the shit out of him. He really is everyone's best friend. I like the idea of him being the best man. He's like, I will never let you go. I will hurt you. I'll show you tough love, but I will hold on forever. And I kind of like this. I don't know. This has been a turn for Miro, at least for me. I like where this is going. That's interesting.
I liked it because it felt so cartoony. It was the most cartoon thing in that. And Miro is a very cartoon performer in AEW so far. I guess in WWE with the whole Rusev thing, it's very cartoon esque and.
Rusev Day.
Yeah, and I think it just played that perfectly. Like Kip was selling like Bugs Bunny and stuff, just and kind of stuff, and it was just very fun. So yeah,
I can't wait to see where their friendship goes. Where Kip's just like hanging around him, but he's scared all the time. Mm-hmm. Like he's holding his wrist, like he's gonna have pins in it, and he's just like, whatever you say, Miro, whatever you say. Like I'm excited for that dynamic.
So you think they're still gonna stay as a team for like a few more weeks? There's gonna be a big blow off feud or something though to let Miro do his own thing. But
I almost see him being like someone that helps him out of fear that Miro's gonna hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
So this I see as a catapult to get ahead, where Miro now can be a singles competitor. He could focus on that, and Kip is his friend that he's just deathly afraid of not being friends with.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I think
yeah.
I like
yeah.
it. I think I like it. But we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna have to wait and see with that, Moet. What other big woos you got? What other woos would you have on your docket?
Second favorite thing of the night. Second woo is Orange Cassidy versus Penta El Zero Miedo. Ugh, man, I'm out of it today, Red. I
Doing
can't do
great
it.
work.
I can't do it
Nonsense. Sound off in the comments if you think Moet's doing a great job. We all think so. We're all thinking
it. My best. First, just to get off the top, was he sunburned? Red body.
I thought he
splotchy red
slapped
body.
I thought he was a kick or a slap or something. Was it like that the entire before the match started?
Yeah, it was very noticeable the whole time. Just weird spots on his back and like forehead and stuff. So, yeah.
Oh, weird. Maybe he got. You know what? Maybe he got sun poisoning. You ever hear that sun poisoning?
No. What? I mean,
you get sun poisoning.
See, I don't have to deal with it personally. I have, yeah.
Well, but it happens. Sun poisoning. If you get too much sunburn, it can cause like this, like almost like an infection from the sunburn. So maybe it was that. I don't know.
Thanks. But either way, I thought it was a great match. I thought it was very fun. I didn't, up until they announced the match, I wouldn't have expected to see those two wrestle each other. So it was just super fun to see them, both styles. I love the opening, their whole theatrics that they both do individually. But like, the whole thing where Penta takes off the glove and kind of, gets in the opponent's face. The wrestler almost always punches him in the face before he can finish the whole thing off. But it's Orange Cassidy. So of course that's not going to happen. So I just had such a blast watching both of them like interact with each other, and
seeing the different ways it clashes, which was really fun.
Yeah, and the end was super fun. I thought they did a great job with it. It was I think exactly what that match needed, is for a TV match. With the mic and everything, it was great. Yeah.
And I like the fact, I know that tradition says that baby faces shouldn't cheat. I like the fact that Orange Cassidy and someone like Darby Allin will do whatever it takes to win. He'll bite your fingers, he'll claw at your eyes. And Orange Cassidy, he's just like tit for tat, always, I get hit 1 week with this, I'm going to hit you with it the next week, And I kind of like that. Some personality consistency. One thing I liked in this match, the ref, Orange Cassidy goes for the beach blast, or what is it called?
I think it's that. Yeah.
It's beach blast. Sure. He goes for the beach blast, goes for the pin, and Penta's shoulder was just off the ground. Not like he kicked out, but it was cornered, and the ref didn't count.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so proud of that ref for making a stand and listening to the rules, because if his shoulder's on the mat, you shouldn't count. And any other ref in AEW would have done that, just counted, because it's obviously a pin.
I was so ready to be angry about that because it was so blatantly obvious. So I'm sure they planned it in that case or something.
No, I think it was an accident. And you see how frustrated Orange Cassidy got? Like, why didn't you just count?
Oh.
He got pissed.
Oh, okay, I guess so. I don't know. I thought it was acting. I don't know. But whatever it was, I'm so glad it happened. Yeah, because you need moments like that. That gives it a little bit of realism. Even though I just said how much I love the cartoon aspects of wrestling. But there's a fine balance,
Yeah, but if a cartoon is just splashes of color, you need a construct. This is a house. This is a person. Just easily things we're easily able to recognize.
Beach break.
What do we got?
It's beach break, not beach blast.
Beach break. I like beach blast. Is that a Capri Sun flavor? Beach blast. Oh, Capri Sun. Thank you so much. Who was that? Was that
Felipe
Smiz?
Ramos.
Oh, thank you, Felipe Ramos. I appreciate your helping with that. So it's beach break. That makes sense. But that was a great match. I really enjoyed that. Let's move on to another woo here. I got a nice little woo. This one's also controversial because I'm not one to usually say this, Moet, but lower on the totem pole, I'm going to put it, the Young Bucks.
You like
Young Bucks? I thought,
get out of here,
Young Bucks. Yeah, I know. This is terrible. I was even complaining to you via text how much I hate them. The reason I hate them is because I really hated them in this match, and they were doing their job. And that's the first time they've really done that. I was angry that they were being dicks, and they look like they didn't care, or they look like they were above it all. And this makes sense now. Their entire personalities make sense now that they're pieces of shit.
Yeah, and they're going against the Seidel brothers, so of course they should be above it. I mean, nothing against them; they're both great, but like they shouldn't be, against the Young Bucks, who are supposed to be the best in the world.
But they're both brothers, which I liked. I like the fact that they're both brother teams. Did you see one thing that Matt Jackson did that believe me, I'm not one to compliment Matt Jackson, but he just did the Luke Cage split and punch in the nuts.
That was the best part of that match. One of the best parts of the night.
So good. I was so happy about that. That was such a fun match. They were great heels. They were a great heel tag team because I was so angry the entire time. I hate seeing them.
It was very
funny.
Them. Yeah.
I hate them. But any other woos?
That's actually funny. It was a great transition because I felt the exact same way about Ethan Page. I was pretty angry when he ran in at the end of the match, at the end of the night. But that's exactly how they need me to, they want me to feel. So it was really smart. Yeah. I can't wait to see him actually wrestle.
I do hate. Yeah. I do hate Ethan Page. I really do hate. I don't even know anything about him. I know nothing about him. So we're gonna find out, I guess, through this. Do you have any other woos though, Moe?
I like Nakazawa. Nakazawa is doing great this episode.
Sure.
Especially, I didn't like the promo that they were in with the Elite promo. I thought it was a little awkward, but that's fine. I think Nakazawa was hilarious in it though. With the honking horn, but especially when Kenny offers him up, is like, you're gonna fight my goon, and it's just this like subtle thing where he turns into the camera from the driver's seat. He just has this kind of look on his face. It's just like, oh no, and that just made me laugh. I thought, he's a really good comedic actor.
He's good. Nakazawa. I'm sorry, Nakazawa. Very good. He's very funny. I have thoughts on that segment, which I will get into in our what's. Do you have any other woos?
No, that's it. That was the last one, Michael Nakazawa.
Wow, what a fun time. We had so much fun talking about these woos, and now we're going to talk about the what's. That's the bad stuff that happened tonight, the things that we did not like, or we thought were annoying. What's your biggest what of the evening,
This one's kind of, it's not so straightforward. It's kind of just abstract.
Nuance.
Brandon Cutler needs to stop acting. He needs to take an acting class. They need to stop letting him act because in both situations he ruined it. I feel, and it was too distracting.
Him talking as the camera person and him being pushed out of the.
What is this camera person one? Is there a third thing I'm forgetting?
Isn't he the camera person in the Elite?
Yes, he is. But I don't remember. What did he do? Oh, you mean in the promo?
He talked in the beginning. He was talking as he was walking in, and he was talking to them.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were referring
to. I'm thinking it's so nitpicky, man. But I don't care.
Give it to me.
They when the Young Bucks win, he starts hitting them with cold spray or whatever. But he's doing it such an absurd way. Like if you're gonna I don't know. He's just like he sprays one of them, he sprays the other, and he goes back and forth. It just looked dumb, and it ruined the whole concept of him being like sort of their servant essentially.
Yeah.
And then he gets kicked. He gets thrown out. This is a whole thing. This is a big one. The whole thing with Kenny and Nakazawa. Eddie Kingston match that was supposed to happen. I guess he called a match. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
That was a mess. That was a true mess. To talk about Brandon Cutler, I think we know why the Young Bucks keep him around and keep giving him things, because whatever he's given, he tries so hard. He tries harder than anyone else, and it shows. Like he's an assistant. He's gonna shoot that spray bottle everywhere. He's gonna be a dragon warrior, and he's gonna have face paint because he's like a god of war, and he's gonna come out to the ring with this really crazy getup and try so hard. He really tries. He just doesn't. He doesn't have it.
Yeah.
You know.
It kind of breaks.
And that's
my
why
heart
they keep him around, because he does so much work.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. And that's admirable. I respect him, and I do appreciate it. Yeah. If anything, I just hope he just hones it down a bit. That's all. Yeah.
Half step back. Step back, and if he just goes in, go in at a 5. You could get to Zanyville, but don't go in at 9.
Yeah.
He comes out there, and he's just I agree entirely. Him selling for John Moxley, beating him up in the back, was pretty. I didn't know what was going on. I honestly thought he tripped and he was having a problem.
Yeah.
Because he was shaking on the ground, and Kenny was even like, Like, he showed no care.
Yeah.
He was just like, there's Cutler being Cutler. Like it was rough. But
That
to talk about
Oh
what's
yeah,
that?
that whole sequence was the next
Yeah,
thing on my list. It just felt like a
yeah,
bad first take. Like I felt
yeah.
like if it was a movie that people like that was good, that was great. Let's do it again. Faster. Let's just try. Like it felt like it was a bunch of talented people that were just trying it out, just winging it for the first time in this, and everything they were doing like on paper, I thought was great. Like if you were to work it out of like Eddie Kingston not agreeing to a match because he's above it. It's an embarrassment to fight Nakazawa the way they're portraying it anyways. And then finding this kind of conning Kenny into the ring and trying to break his ankle. I thought that was all fantastic on paper, but the way they did it was it felt rushed. It felt there was no build up to anything.
Yeah. One other thing is the always going for a threatening someone's wife for a match never really works out. I feel like it never looks good because it just takes, unless it's a group of people like the Four Horsemen, get one person and they all hold him down. But if it's just one person doing it, Eddie Kingston grabbing Kenny Omega's ankle and putting it in the thing, and Kenny's just sitting there waiting for there has to be a rehearsal. There has to be one rehearsal, so at least you don't make your champion look like an idiot for not moving at all, for going to sleep with a sleeper and then just not moving when he's awake. And he's like, it just felt so unnatural. You should only do that with big groups where you threaten their life and like, give us a match or we're going to get them because they have them by all fours, you know?
That's the thing, though. Like I said, again, on paper, it's great because, like,
on paper,
the way
it's
they
great.
pulled it off, it's like,
One
well,
rehearsal.
they're treating it like, like a hostage situation. Like he's got a gun pointed at Kenny Omega, and that, like, if he breaks his ankle, he can't wrestle. That's their cash cow in the Elite right now. So the way he's acting, like if you move a muscle, whatever you move, I'm gonna snap your ankle, whatever Kingston was saying. I thought that was great. They just didn't build it up properly. I'm not even sure what they would need to do.
You were right when you said the first thing. It felt like a first take, and that's what it exactly was. It was the first time they did this, and it looked bad because of it. If they did it like early in the night, maybe once, just to get the blocking right, just to make Kenny Omega not look stupid, for there not be that much dead air and dead space, they would fix a lot of their problems with one run through.
Yeah, you
got a comment over there?
I expected more from Kenny. Yeah.
Thank you, Chica Marks,
And,
but bless her soul.
It says they kept interrupting each other, and it just felt messy.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
Eddie Kingston interrupts with everyone. He refuses to let, even Jon Moxley, when he's hanging around with Eddie Kingston, they just they have they're bad influences on each other. They're just interrupting all the time. They're so relaxed and off the cuff that nothing feels serious.
Yeah, and then it's again nitpicky thing, but like Moxley kept doing this thing where he was like he would jump on the second rope and act like he was about to slam his foot on the chair, breaking Kenny's ankle. He just kept doing that, and then
it's distracting.
Yeah, it's super distracting. It's like it makes sense. It's a good concept, like, oh, I should do that and build some, I'm so frustrated, but like he did it like 4 times or something, and it just ruined. Like, why don't you just do it? Just do it already.
You look, everyone in that ring looked like an idiot for not snapping the ankle and for Kenny for just waiting there.
And this is the first time I'm realizing they didn't even mention, or they did mention the Impact title win briefly, but they didn't make a thing out of it. That's a huge deal.
What is that? What in the world? I thought that was going to be the entire first segment when they're in the limo. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be like he's going to pick up the belt and just show all the belts he has. Like I felt like that's. I don't understand the logic of allowing your champion to go to different promotions and win their belts and not brag about it.
I did hear, and I think it's still sort of in rumor territory. I don't think anything is confirmed, but I did hear that the reason for that is just legal issues potentially, in that like the AAA title I think can't be seen unless it's like in connection to the AAA performers. So like I think when he wrestled Phoenix, he brought out the belt, or he could do it on Dark because it's not on television. I think there's something about that. So there might be something with the Impact title, but that they just didn't like work out the kinks before going through with the storyline. But I could be completely wrong. But having said that, I feel like maybe giving them a bit of slack. But it's still like weird as hell that they didn't bother doing that, because this is a huge story in pro wrestling that he's got all of those belts.
Yeah,
So
100%. And I feel like it is a waste. And if you're going to be spending this money on a guy and then having him go out to other promotions, possibly getting injured, at least mention that he just won a belt. You don't have to say the name. You can just say he's collecting belts all over the world.
Yeah, I think Don Callis mentioned it really quickly in the limo. I think just bringing like, we're all champions now, or whatever he said. Something really quick, but I don't know. Wasn't enough.
Excellent segue.
Yeah.
Excellent segue to the limo, which I wanted to talk about. Mostly, I want to talk about Luke Gallows, who is, and Carl Anderson, while we're at it. What are they trying to, like, literally being, like, they're having a serious, not a serious promo, but like you're having Don Callis, who's a good talker, with Kenny Omega, who's your champion, and they're talking, and the entire time Luke Gallows is mean mugging, and he's like licking his biceps, and he's making goofy faces while they're talking. Like, you're not the show, Luke Gallows. You're literally taking away from the show.
Oh, I think I agree, or sorry, disagree with you a little bit there, because
he's in front of them. He's in front of them making goofy faces. If he was in the background, maybe, but you're literally in the way.
So no, I agree with that. I think my issue with it was the placement in the limo. I think it was just a super awkward way to do a promo with so many people.
Sure.
Because I think when you're sort of supposed to do that. I'm sure they even like train them to do that, where like you want the people to be paying attention to you in a promo. If it's a group promo, you should be in the back just like flexing, or you should be just doing whatever it is within your character to kind of like show off. You just don't want to stand there as a wrestling personality. But the problem was the limo was that it's just one angle down, so they can only sit where like Matt Jackson was like, and Nick, both of them were like closest to the camera, and it was just awkward. The cameraman eventually pushed past them, which I think was the smart choice, but it was just sort of unfortunate, I think. Which I can. Yeah.
I'll concede that it's not all Luke Gallows' fault, but so mostly the producer's problem, where they should have moved them around. The Kenny Omega and Don Callis should have been where Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows were sitting.
One thing,
just to get the better angle and the better look.
Carl Anderson,
what are you going to say?
Did not have his pants on, and that is something that is not defendable. That's absurd.
It's just not. It's lame.
You're forcing Don Callis to explain that for everyone. He doesn't even bother to be like, oh, sorry. He doesn't have I don't like him. I don't like Carl Anderson without his pants on.
I don't like Carl Anderson without his pants on. And nothing wrong with Carl Anderson not having his pants on, but it had no place in that segment. And I'll just go back to Luke Gallows. That segment explained everything to me about his sense of humor. When he's in the background, instead of just flexing and he's just like pretending to cry, pretending to whimper, licking his muscles. He's just lame. They're just lame.
I agree with that at the very least. I agree with that. I think they're super lame.
Man.
I actively try to not look at them when they're on screen or in promos. I just can't handle them personally. I think it's annoying.
It's frustrating because I like them in the ring.
Yeah.
I just don't like them in any other part of wrestling. Any other part. Mo, do you have any of the what's of the night? I'm sure you have a couple.
Let's see. Do you have any? I gotta.
I'm out of what's. I didn't have that many what's.
Did you like the Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford match?
I thought it would have been better. There was some botches in there, which took me out of it a little bit because I was more worried about their livelihood. There's sometimes that I thought like it looked a little rough.
Yeah.
I like Chris Statlander, and I thought Penelope did a great job. I think Penelope's pretty good. I just didn't. I was in the middle on that.
Yeah,
match.
I guess I didn't really have a lot to say about that one. I was just sort of disappointed. I thought Penelope is. I feel like I put a lot of it on her, and that she just seemed slow or like just off tonight. It just made things feel awkward, and like the chemistry was off. But I guess that there's not much to say. It was just like meh. It's fine.
It's meh. But that's
basically it. That's basically it, yeah.
I don't got any either. That's all we have. That's the woos and whats of AEW Dynamite. And we're all excited for next week's AEW Dynamite, which is that's Blood and Guts, right?
Guts, yeah.
Blood and Guts next week. Are you excited for it?
It's going to be like a pay-per-view on TV. It's going to be incredible, or hopefully.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't know what they're going to do for 2 hours. Someone gave me an explanation. I was talking to someone today, and they were telling me that the reason why it's probably going to be the entire show is because they don't have a roof. in Daly's place. And so how are you supposed to suspend a cage above the ring? They have to build it around. And so they can't just take it on and off like they do at a WWE show where they just lift it up, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
So
Chica
that's
Mark,
probably
she
why.
thought they thought Britt's promo was great. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, Britt's promo was great. Excellent point. Britt Baker's great. Britt Baker, just give her 5 minutes on any show, and she will literally be a highlight. She goes over to hug Tony Schiavone. She tongue in cheek references the rankings and how she's number one, and she is number one.
Yeah, I agree. And did you
She's
like the
number
thing
one.
with Tony doing the DMD thing with
Yeah.
them? I thought that was cute. I thought it was. That's all.
He's very cute.
That's what it
They're
was.
very
Makes no
cute
sense
together.
why he would do it. Like I was like, what are you doing? They did, they shouldn't have planned
It's
that
sweet.
beforehand, but they clearly it was just very cute. Yeah.
It's entirely sweet. I love seeing Tony Schiavone happy. I really do. When he's happy, and he only seems to be, he seems to be happy with Britt Baker. They're happy with each other. And I appreciate them. That's the Mean Gene and Hulk Hogan of our time right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
For sure.
That's what that is. But excellent job. Excellent time we've had. This has been Loserly's Wrestling AEW Woos and What's of AEW Dynamite. Please follow us and listen to our podcast. We have the news you can't lose every Saturday. We put that up on Saturday, and you should be able to find it Sunday if I'm late. And then we have every single Wednesday right after AEW Dynamite. We cover the Woos and What's. What do you got, Mo? You have it looks like you have something spicy on your tongue.
Calling us out. I didn't know whether to call.
What are they calling
Well,
out?
not calling us out, not really. But Smiz, he says, or they say,
Smiz. Oh, it's Smiz.
you know, it's the two Z's at the end. That's what's messing me up.
No, it's the MW sound.
That's
it's the MW.
Something's
Smiz.
off. But I'm gonna
Smiz.
figure it out. The more I say it.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, Smiz. We appreciate your patronage and keep it up. Keep up the good work. And Smiz, you just started something. You haven't reviewed us on Apple Podcasts, Smiz. Please, God, thank you so much. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, Chica Marks. And make sure to check us out on Instagram. I'm trying to do that more now. Check it out. I'm going to try and post all the time now at Loserly's Wrestling. Send us some emails at Loserly'sPod with any questions you have for the mailbag with Mullet. But that's all the time that we've got today. This is Loserly's Wrestling. My name is Red Jefferson. I'm here with
Moa Jaswell commenting.
Moa, if you were a textile or fabric, what textile or fabric would you be?
Like that soft like sheep's wool would be what I that's what I prefer to be. Just
wool.
Very comforting to everybody.
It's sheep's wool, everyone. Sheep's wool. Have a great night.
Thank you. What do you mean textile or fabric? What textile or fabric would you be?
Canvas.
Okay.
I'd be canvas. Like a durable bag, like denim. I'd be denim.